I don't know.
That's too wild.
Is it slanted though? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's too wild. But you know I'm Bob.
Oh, it is? Yeah, come on. Okay. Shalom, Israel. We just trying to make sure the camera was lit. Okay, yeah, that was us. That was my phone. All right, Shalom, Israel, with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. We've been on these streets since 1969, trying to teach blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians their true knowledge and nationality. Okay, in the media, you've been seeing a lot about Kanye West going out and saying we're Israelites. Now, this class mainly is to help brothers to understand that already may know or be familiar with the truth and may be confused, because I personally believe our oppressor is going to try to use other confused brothers to try to cause more confusion. Meaning, like, we have certain groups of our people that believe that this is Tawab. Salakia, Salakia, ha, tell him I'm live right now. Gun. Also Korah. Text also Korah and let him know I'm live. Bible Trust. Okay, so Khan. So like I'm saying, Kanye West is trying to get plugged in, is what's called, is going around saying that we're Israel. We are the 12 tribes, right? And now everybody's getting slack because of it. Nori had to shut down the interview because of what happened, right? Yeah, Khan. Nori had to shut down the interview because of what happened. What's it called? Now you have all these brands that are going away from Kanye. Why? Because he exposed a very dangerous secret. Balenciaga, do you understand why Balenciaga wants to get rid of Kanye West? What's the real reason Balenciaga wants to get rid of Kanye West? Okay, let's use a better one. JP Morgan. JP Morgan, we know, is owned by Amalek.
Right.
Why does Amalek have a problem with Kanye West right now? And there's the basic answer, but what really does that mean? The basic answer, I'll give you that. He's exposing the truth to our people. But what does that actually mean?
It means he's exposing the truth about them as well.
Say what?
He's exposing the truth about them as well.
Okay, but what does that actually mean? Like, you think they really care about that? What does Amalek care about? Okay, for those that don't know, Amalek is what we call the people that refer to themselves by our nationality. That's their biblical name, Amalek. One of the I believe he's actually Esau's grandson, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Khan. But Khan, what does Amalek really care about?
Money.
Money, right? So why would they want to get rid of Kanye? Why would JP Morgan want to get rid of Kanye West? Take over for 2 seconds.
Okay. What the officer's bringing out is real heavy, because that is what Amalek cares about. Amalek cares about money. And Amalek mostly cares about is trading money amongst themselves. And so when it comes to your money means nothing to him, because it's more important to him to be able to trade amongst himself in order to uplift his people. And so if you got 100 million in the bank, that's not as important to him as it is, to be able to uplift his people and keep money in his circulation. And that's how money is able to circulate in their neighborhood so many times, to where the money in your neighborhood circulates what, twice before it's out of the black community? Not even twice. In Amalek's neighborhood, the dollar circulates how many times? Never leaves his neighborhood. Never leaves his neighborhood. It's important for them to keep their money in their neighborhood. And even if they got to push your money out, they have no problem doing that, as long as they continue to uplift theirs. Let me give the class back to priest and officer.
Okay, Most High Christ, because he brought up an interesting point. That's how Amalek operates. But now Kanye West is saying that's our culture and that's how we should operate. Why is JP Morgan saying, nah, we don't like Kanye West now? Why? What does that mean? I kind of just gave it to you.
Yeah, that means that they don't want to deal with Kanye West.
No,
Oh,
but why? It's
it
not, they want to deal with Kanye West. They want to continue dealing with Kanye West, even if it means they can't deal with Kanye West. You know what Kanye West represents right now? All black people.
Khan.
And Kanye West is on the mindset of, I don't need you. I can truly be independent. That's my culture.
Khan.
Kanye West is exposing there can be a black Chase. There can be a black JP Morgan. And then we keep all that money inside the black community.
Right.
There will be no black people banking with Chase. There will be no Hispanic people banking with Chase. The Jewish man, understand, Jewish people made most of Nat King Cole's Christmas album. Look it up. You think that's by accident? No, because the Jewish man needs you to be in a Christmas spirit. You know why? So you'll go into the Jewish man's stores and buy the Jewish man's stuff.
Khan.
Like, this is what our people do not understand. They do not want you to understand, know this information because it's the source of a major come up for them. Us knowing the truth really destroys American economy. Tell me how long America will last in a society where blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians aren't going crazy at the end of the year to buy turkeys and extravagant gifts. You have basically a 20%, a fifth of your population, right? That's basically saying, no, we're not going to celebrate this. We're not going to partake in these things. We're going to save our money and actually keep it amongst ourselves.
Right.
Yeah, Kanye, I'd definitely give up $1 billion. The hell is $1 billion to the hundreds of billions of dollars I make off you yearly? You know what you could do with all that money you're not spending on Christmas? Buy your own low-income housing. Buy your own grocery stores. That's why Kanye West is having this problem. This is the actual attack. It's not, oh, he's exposing our religion or our ancient culture or our history. This is how our nation becomes strong again. And you better not tell that to anybody. So, yeah, I'll lose a client worth $1 billion. Yeah, Balenciaga should get rid of Kanye West if Balenciaga wants to stay in business, or else there'll be a black Balenciaga. I remember General Hyman put this out. There's an old video. I don't know if you can still find it on YouTube. This is before I even came into school. The Egyptians did what they did because financial reasons. Or mainly, so did our slave master. They didn't want to have to deal with competition. These people are stronger and mightier than us. That's exactly what they said. They don't want to compete with us. I say this all the time. Your local crackhead is a crackhead because he is also a roofer, and the roofers union cannot survive with him. White families will starve if crackheads get off crack and start using their trade skills and enter the workforce. Bro, you're much older than me. You know what General Hyman said, and I could barely understand. You know how much stuff people used to get off crackheads? And I'm talking about labor. A crackhead's going to fix your front lawn. A crackhead's going to do your stairs. A crackhead's going to do your roof. And it's going to be spectacular. You know why? Because before he was a crackhead, he was a roofer. Before he was on these drugs that were put into our communities, he was a stable portion of society. But that can't happen. Right? Con.
And Salaki, if I may, what you bring it out as heavy is because that's what we see a lot of times in the prison system.
Forget about it.
Twisted on drugs out in the street, destroyed, and couldn't take any advantage of any of the trades or anything they was able to do in the streets. These brothers go to prison and become geniuses. They get off of drugs and they're able to do all the build the prison.
Okay, here's the truth. They didn't become geniuses. They were born genius.
Con.
Here's one thing everybody has to get out their mind when it comes to what happened to us. They took the leading engineers, the leading doctors, the leading philosophers, which were our people, forced them into slavery, got every piece of information they had on how to build a perfect society, and then sold off their children so that we couldn't teach our own. And that's why we have to beg plumbers unions. We have to beg electricians unions when we were the leaders in these industries. But through nefarious tactics, we lost these abilities. And now you have those of our own people who will say, no, we need to forgive them just for a small number of these people. None of them get forgiveness. Right? Just like, here's the thing. We all got punished as a people for what happened to us. Right? Why shouldn't our oppressor be the same way? Now, here's the thing. I explained. The leading engineers went into slavery, right? You know why? Because there were black rapists. There were black thieves. There were politicians that were liars. You paid your taxes. You did everything you were supposed to do, right? You are a righteous brother. You still went into slavery. Why is our oppressor any different? That's the truth.
Right.
He doesn't get a pass because that's basically what you hear about. Oh, a good white man. There were good black. So all black. Think about that. Oh, but what about good white men? There weren't good black men that went into slavery. Good black men went into slavery. Great black men went into slavery. Toussaint Louverture supposedly was a prince over there in Africa. He was of some royal lineage in that part of where he was from. That's what they put into slavery. Right? And that's the problem. We want to go out, and when we have this knowledge that's been here since 1969 and even before, like, understand, you got idiots. I had to deal with some cat months, like a year ago, tried to tell me that Denmark Vesey, and we'll get into a better school history, Denmark Vesey and Nat Turner would stand with what's known as the Commandment Keepers. Are you familiar with the Commandment Keepers?
Sir.
What is your knowledge of them?
My knowledge of the Commandment Keepers is they were a bunch of brothers who were seeking the truth, but did so by pursuing Amalek's ways and going into synagogues with Amalek. But they were never really accepted by Amalek.
Give you a hand, no sign, guys. Right, that's correct. Few things you want to make sure, and it's important for this breakdown. Where did the Amalek get the idea to take these guys from? Slavery. Slavery didn't do its job very well. There were those of us who still knew. There's a cat people talk about called F.S. Cherry from Chicago. That cat went around betting white people $1,000 back in the 1800s. Prove I'm an African. Supposedly. I got what's it called, right? You had Denmark Vesey. You had Nat Turner, right? You're familiar with Denmark Vesey or La?
La.
Denmark Vesey. You know AME Church?
Con.
The shooting that happened
Con.
in that church. Do you know the history of that church?
La.
Denmark Vesey is a slave who was basically a member of that church, right? That church was a black church during slavery that planned a slave revolt, right? The slave revolt never happened. Sellouts, I wanted to use another word, sold them out, and Denmark Vesey was killed. That same spirit lived in that church till a pastor begged a white man not to shoot grandma. And then they sat there and said, we still forgive you. We still love you. Massa, they about to kill us 100 years later. We still love you, Massa. You could kill us and do whatever you could kill my grandma, but I still love you, Massa. In my little black church, you know why they gave you a black church? They couldn't stand seeing your black ass in the white church. Yeah, same with the Jewish man. The Jewish man and the Christian are no different. And y'all in a strong ass delusion. Y'all in a strong delusion. Salakia. Believing that these what's it called? Because a lot of y'all, because these cats don't even believe that the New Testament is evil. New Testament ain't evil. New Testament is the truth. Okay? Jesus stood by, Yahweh Christ stood by the Old Testament. That's all he taught out of. Y'all want to listen to men that say it's okay to do unseemly things with babies, but the man who said raising up our people is more important than you having a wife, he's evil? Fixing our nation is more important than making sure you have kids. Yeah, I can see that. God wants you to have kids. He'll make sure of it. That's in the book of Jeremiah. But yeah, y'all want to worship cats who say, listen, in a book that says you can cheat a Jew, but a Jew can't cheat you. So I got the question. Are you a Jew? Does he consider you a Jew? And here's another question I got for cats like those. Can you marry his daughter? And I don't mean the chocolate daughter he has. I mean his actual loving, his little white girl. Can y'all marry a Jewish man's daughter? Wearing them little tassels and that hat and that goddamn phylactery? Y'all are no better than Christians. Y'all are actually worse than Christians. Christians have more brotherhood. Right? So give me what you got. You got Judges 2:21? Because we're about to understand. We got this truth, right? We got this, and we had it revealed to us during slavery. Well, not revealed. It would survive slavery, right? It survived slavery, and then what? The Jewish man comes in, and he basically says, we'll teach you how our ways, right? Those brothers, we can't fault those brothers. Those brothers fell on were being tried by the Most High, and they didn't know how to properly deal with it. So we're not going to fault them just yet, right? During that point in history, right? Give me what you got. Judges 2:21.
Kalama Khan, the book of Judges, chapter 2, verse 21. I also will not henceforth drive out any from before them of the nations which Joshua left when he died.
Now, this is after Joshua died, right? We got into our land. We had certain things, certain areas that we hadn't conquered. We didn't properly conquer our capital, Jerusalem, until really the time of David, right? So, right, this is before that. And the Most High saying he's leaving other nations around us. We're going to see why. Read.
Verse 22. That through them I may prove Israel.
Keep going.
Whether they will keep the way of the Lord.
But the way of the Jewish man.
The Lord.
The Sephardic.
The Lord.
The Ashkenazi.
The Lord.
The Khazar.
The Lord.
Wear yarmulke, which isn't in the Bible.
The Lord.
They shall keep the way of who?
The Lord.
Keep going.
To walk therein.
So walk therein. Keep going.
As their fathers.
As what?
Their fathers.
Show me where Abraham wore a fur hat. Read that again.
Their fathers.
Where did Jacob say there's a proper way to kill your animal?
Their fathers.
Where does the Bible say you're supposed to salt your food? And that's why anytime you walk past a kosher meat market, it smells like shake your behind. Read that again.
Their fathers.
That's nowhere in the Bible. They misconstrue scripture. Right? You can't eat a cheeseburger, but I can go into the Torah and show you where Abraham served God himself meat and cheese and butter. Y'all don't know the Bible, right? We keep the Bible as our fathers did. Right? Y'all keep the Bible as our enemies do. Keep going.
Their fathers did keep it or not.
And that's what happens. This was a test for the Black and Hispanic community, right? To see what would happen to us and if we would go back to the ways of our ancestors, right? That's why we were given quote unquote freedom. I'm gonna give you a little leeway to see if all the guardrails are off, the heathen's not killing you. You literally have the freedom to believe whatever you want in this place, right? What are you going to choose to do? Serve your oppressor. And that's what we did. We chose to serve our oppressor in some way or another, right? Many of our people went to Christianity. Many of our people went to other evils. What's called other evils along the lines like Islam, right? But now you got some of our people who learned under the Jewish man. And that's the problem. Keep going. 23.
Verse 23. Therefore, the Lord left those nations
Right.
without driving them out hastily.
Right.
Neither delivered he them into the hand of Joshua.
Neither delivered he them into the hand of Joshua. Meaning what? He left them there to be a trial for us. Will you be stupid enough to serve them? And there's those of our people who will hear and read the scriptures and still follow the Jewish man. Will still hear like no one. I just don't understand how you can really sit there and tell me about some goddamn oral tradition and this is Cliff Notes. Like y'all really need hooked on phonics. Drop that. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 68. This is a powerful scripture. People don't know. This is the scripture that created the UPK. This scripture right here created the UPK. What do I mean? It created the UPK. This is the scripture that Abba Bivens saw and used to basically realize, why the hell am I in this synagogue? Right? Abba Bivens, like many of our people, learned it through slavery. Right? Abba Bivens came up, was a commandment keeper, and came into the truth, but came to realize. Read 28 and 68.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Right? We will go back into slavery. The God looked at it and said, God was going to put, what's called Abba Bivens looked at the scriptures and said, God's going to put the real children of Israel in slavery. Read on. But with ships, right? Did the Jewish man go in slavery with ships? I'm asking you, Har.
La, sir.
The Jewish man didn't go into slavery with ships, right?
La, he did not.
So could he possibly be a Jew?
La, sir.
He can't be. He didn't go into slavery. He doesn't fit the curses at all. We're not going to go through. This isn't curses day, but yeah, just a synopsis. He doesn't fit the curses. We could laugh at how much he doesn't fit the curses. And that's not a joke. That's very serious. Keep reading.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee. Right? Keep going.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
Thou shalt what?
See it no more again.
Thou shalt what?
See it no more again.
What is the it?
The it is our land.
Our land. And what else?
Rulership.
Rulership. That's good. But rulership, I'll take rulership. Another one or a better one, black supremacy. Black unity. We won't see those things anymore again. I'm going to destroy your nation. Does the Jewish man suffer from that?
La.
His communities are completely intact, right? You broke it down earlier, right? He's able to keep money within amongst himself. He's able to keep himself sustained. Keep reading.
And there ye shall be sold
What?
unto your enemies.
Ye shall be what?
Sold.
What?
Sold.
What?
Sold.
What does it mean to be sold? Har. The reason I asked this is because they try to use the next line to say, oh, that couldn't have been y'all because we had owners. But what does sold really mean? Someone bought us.
Right.
That's a transaction right there.
Right.
So now, meaning what? We were sold to our friends. Who are we sold to? Read it again.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
We are sold to our enemies. Our enemies bought us. Right? Now, even today, if I do a crime, what does the 13th Amendment say? Con, do you know?
If you, the 13th Amendment says that if you do a crime, you've made yourself eligible to go back into slavery.
Right. But what if I pay, in certain instances, what if I pay a certain amount of money? Right?
Right.
So what's it called? That's called being redeemed.
God.
Now read that next line.
For bondmen and bondwomen.
Right? And we shall be sold for slaves. That's what a bondman and bondwoman is. Now read the next line, Salakia.
And no man shall buy you.
And no man is going to buy you. No man is going to shell out the money, right? Do the work to say, we shouldn't do that to these people. It's wrong to do that to these people. The Jewish man started slavery inside of the Americas. The Jewish man started slavery inside of the Americas when he started down in Brazil. And y'all want to talk about some cats, some brothers who owned slaves. Here's the thing. I love every black slave owner. You know that nigga from Django, that the character Django was trying to play or portray? Yeah, I love every one of those. You know why? Because that's my brother. He's an idiot, but he's still my brother. Right? But what's it called? You got cats that'll try to use dumb logic like, well, black people owned other black people. We'll deal with them in house. Our enemies have to deal with that, though. That's some idiotic logic. If your citizen comes into my country and does a crime, yeah, you better come deal with him before I do. We now have a problem with all of you. And it's not even like a small minority. A large majority of y'all had a hand in slavery. Okay. Now, what's called? That's what it means by no man shall buy you. Meaning no man's going to do the work to set you free. No man's going to redeem you. And they try to use that to mean that can't mean us. But here's a funny thing. They try to say, because I don't know how they do it, because they basically make up whatever they want and don't follow the Bible anywhere. I'm starting to realize that. Like the Jewish man is no different than the Christian. They both are some liars. They don't follow the scriptures. They try to make up laws, dumb stuff like, oh, there's a proper way to kill meat. Show me that in the Torah. Oh, oral traditions. Show me the Torah where the Torah says to know better, go refer to the oral traditions. Right? Y'all are so enamored with this Jewish man. It's good for right now. Maybe in a minute. Now give me yeah, we'll get to that now. 2 Kings 17 and 1. Because basically the problem is our people don't want to understand or respect the Jewish man, like, how do I say it? They don't want to respect. They don't want to respect. He isn't our friend. Like they think that they can get something out of it because they get some moment. Really, they're greedy. You're no different than you're a whore. You're no different than a cat who gets with a white woman. You think you gain something by being up under them, but instead of being up under these rough niggas. Because that's what it really is. Right? Give me yeah, you got it? Give me verse 1.
2 Kings chapter 17, verse 1.
Right?
In the 12th year of Ahaz, the king of Judah, began Hosea and the son of Elah to reign in Samaria.
Right? Samaria, the northern kingdom of Israel, right? Keep going.
Over Israel 9 years.
Reigned over Israel 9 years, right? Keep going.
Verse 2. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord.
And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, right?
But not as the kings of Israel that were before him.
Right, but not as the kings of Israel that did before him. So he wasn't the evilest cat in the northern kingdom's history. But let's see what happens still. Keep going.
Verse 3. Against him came Shalmaneser, king of Assyria.
Shalmaneser, king of Assyria, right?
And Hoshea became his servant and gave him presents. Verse 4.
Now, what's the problem with this? You don't serve your oppressor and go out giving him presents like he's someone to be honored. He is no one to be honored. Right? He is not to be honored at all in any way, shape, or form. Right? Here's what you do. You ignore him. He doesn't exist. So, right? And so he did that, and that was the evil that he caused. Don't try to, appease your oppressor. It doesn't work. Keep going.
Verse 4. And the king of Assyria found conspiracy in Hoshea.
Right. Now let's see what the conspiracy was.
For he had sent messengers to So, king of Egypt.
Right.
And brought no present to the king of Assyria.
Right.
As he had done year by year.
Right.
Therefore, the king of Assyria shut him up.
Right.
And bound him in prison.
Now, why? Why did the king of Assyria do this? Why did he do that in the first place? Because he's a whore. He thought he could get something or gain something by going against this man and serving another man. How about you stand on your own 2 feet and serve God? This brother couldn't realize or comprehend that. So this is what happened to him.
Verse 5. Then the king of Assyria came up throughout all the land and went up to Samaria, right, and besieged it 3 years.
And besieged it 3 years, right? He took it over in 3 years, destroyed it. Keep going.
Verse 6. In the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Assyria took Samaria.
He completely demolished it. The war was over. Keep going.
And carried Israel away into Assyria.
Right, so then he took the northern kingdom captive. This is the end of the northern kingdom, so to speak. Keep going. Or their time inside the promised land. Keep going.
And placed them in Halah, in the harbor by the river of Gozan, and in the cities of the Medes.
Medes, right? Early Persia. Keep going.
Verse 7. For so it was that the children of Israel had sinned against the Lord their God.
They sinned against the Most High, their power. They went against him to serve Assyrians. They went against him to serve Egyptians, right? So the Most High destroyed them. This wasn't an isolated incident. This is what they were known for, right? And the Most High dealt with them for it because it was evil for them to do. Keep going.
Which had brought them up out of the land of Egypt, from under the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and had feared other gods.
And had feared what?
Other gods.
What?
Other gods.
They feared other gods. They didn't fear the Most High, right? They put their faith in Christmas and the Virgin Mary, right? They put their faith in Egyptian mysticism. They put their faith in some fish god named Dagon, right? That's what they put their faith in. They didn't put their faith in the God of their ancestors. Keep going.
Verse 8, and walked in the statutes of the heathen.
They walked in their laws. What's the statutes of the heathens? You get to divorce. I mean, man, I saw one of these cats say, the Jewish man believes. You ever notice the Jewish man? Okay. Baba Kushar, could you get me the orange? Just bring it up here. Now, y'all know why the Jewish man, needs all that Section 8? You know how? Why does the Jewish man need all that Section 8? Very simple. Did you go to school with a lot of Jewish people? Okay, I kind of did. Okay, I went to school with a lot of them. I had a Greek teacher. She told me basically, this is like my senior year, and my school was in Queens. It was half Jake, it was in a Russian hood though. Basically Forest Hill, same place Spider-Man's from the comics. That's an actual neighborhood in Queens. Half Russian Jewish, and Jake. Like the Russian Jews lived in the area. There was projects down the block from the school, and then I lived in the hood, Left Rack, where Nori's from. Yeah. What's it called? So I'm familiar with them. Like I remember a Greek teacher explained to me, like, yeah, after working here for so many years, I'll be coming and seeing, like, by the time like y'all are like 23, the Russian kids, y'all already married with like 2 kids. Like, cause the Jewish man basically marries off their kids at 18. And I remember I had a Jewish girl in my class. They're not allowed. Their daughters be all. Our daughters go buck wild in high school. They know full well, do not do that. You'll be cut from that family, and they mean that. But we're wrong if we. But people will tell us on things like Clubhouse and everywhere else, we're wrong if we say we'll cut off a child for being a homosexual. The Jewish man does it all day. The Jewish man does that. Do you know why? Because the Jewish man really takes, what is that? What's called be fruitful and multiply to heart. What do I mean by that? It is a law, and you are breaking the law if you do not have a boy and a girl. It is a law. God don't love you if you don't have a boy and a girl. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Now, here's the thing. The criteria is you have to get married at 18. Who says that? Here's how you know that's some BS. Because where does the Bible give an age for marriage? It doesn't. Right? So that's strike number 1. Y'all are doing the ways of heathens. This is not the ways of our ancestors. Here's another thing. If the wife don't get you a baby in 10 years, you can divorce her. You are allowed to divorce your wife if she don't give you children. Brother, you know Abraham and Sarah were married from 60 to 90 at least, right? That's biblically known. And that's just not even fully into the marriage because he was already out here. Abraham was 60 when he had to save Lot in the city of Sodom, and he paid his tithes to Melchizedek. He was already married to Sarah then. Then he had a baby with her 40 years later. The Jewish man doesn't know the Bible. Only we do.
God.
Keep reading.
Verse 7. For so it was. Slakia.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 8.
Yeah, God.
And walked in the statutes of the heathen, whom the Lord cast out from before the children of Israel.
Now, all these people that Most High kept around us and but just kept at bay, they could never deal with us, right? We want to listen to them. These are our known enemies, and we want to listen to them, right? Read on.
And the kings of Israel, which they had made.
Right. Keep going.
Verse 9. And
You could drop that. Give me verse 13. Right. Now you have this. And here's the sad thing. Keep going.
verse 13. Yet the Lord testified against Israel and against Judah by all the prophets and by all the seers, saying, turn ye from your evil ways.
Meaning
And
what? I warned you. I warned you. I sent men to tell you this is going to get you killed. And read on.
and keep my commandments and my statutes according to the law which I commanded your fathers,
Right. Keep going.
and which I sent to you by my servants and prophets.
Right. Keep going.
Verse 14. Notwithstanding, they would not hear, but hardened their necks like to the neck of their fathers that did not believe in the Most High Power, their God.
Right. Right, Con. Now give me hold up. Okay, now we're gonna get to the juicy part. So that's why we got removed. Because we didn't want to respect our culture. Just like today, you got idiots that don't respect our culture today and want to believe it like the Jewish man believes it. Like, where the hell? Like, that whole idea of Judaism is just dumb. When you really look at the biblical aspect of it, it is just so freaking stupid. Like, how do I say it? Because in the Torah, well, in the Talmud, they basically try to explain let's see, a boy is not a man. No. Or one of those. Yeah. Like they do horrible. You cannot have sex with a little boy and you cannot have sex with a grown man. That's it. Man lay with mankind. What is mankind? Man lay with mankind. What is mankind? What is mankind? No. That just means another man. You can sleep with a little boy, though. Mankind is not a man. Mankind.
Right.
A little man is a man. You're kind of like a man. Why? Because you have the same body parts. You sick bastards. Man, you and the Palestinians deserve each other. I pray more. I would shoot. I pray the Most High brings about great conflict between you and more conflict between you and the Palestinian. Because y'all deserve each other, y'all nasty bastards. Y'all both some goddamn pedophiles.
Right.
Y'all are out there doing disgusting things to babies. Right? I don't feel like saying it, but you are aware of what I'm talking about, right, brother?
Con.
Like, and you got those of our people really out here defending this. Like, yeah, y'all could keep that. No. I will be in a cult. I like my cult. I don't know about you, Harya Allah. You like your cult?
Con.
I like my cult. My cult doesn't tell me to give you my son so you can put your mouth on his 8-day-old rod. That is disgusting. Y'all are a cult. You and the niggas that believe that a bitch had a baby with God, y'all niggas are a cult. That's a cult. And here, yeah, a woman has sex with a man. That's it. That's how this world works. Men have sex with women, and women have sex with men. That's how this works. Anything else is wrong. And you going about trying to listen to your oppressor destroys us. Okay? You gonna go out on the street saying that we should be like the Jewish man who goes out blowing baby rod? Y'all gonna be the next one that the Most High talk about, saying you scatter the flock. Niggas really ain't gonna want to listen to the Bible once they hear you. Read with Salakia. Read 24, verse 24.
Khan.
Like, this is crazy. And now we're about to get the history of where this very idea comes from. Because you know, before they were saying they was Jewish, they were saying they was Hispanic. Yeah. The first group of cats to go around using our culture went around lying to niggas saying, yeah, we're the originators of arroz con pollos. That's why Jews didn't like them. That's why Shorty was surprised when Jesus even talked to her. Why? Because that's our culture. You go around impersonating our family. We don't mess with you. The hell type of ish is that? You gonna say you my cousin after you robbed my cousin? Nah. Imagine that someone take your cousin's house, right? And Lazen says he's your cousin. You gonna invite him to your cookout? Because he's my cousin too. And they try to lie and act like these imposters don't exist. Like people haven't gone around saying there are people and they're not. Right? Read what you got, 24.
Khan. Verse 24. And the king of Assyria brought men from Babylon and from Cuttah and from Ava and from Hamath and from Sepharvaim and placed them in the cities of Samaria.
Right? So he put heathens inside of our land, right? Keep going.
Instead of the children of Israel.
Right, keep going.
And they possessed Samaria, right, and dwelt in the cities thereof.
Next, gone.
Verse 25. And so it was at the beginning of their dwelling there that they feared not the Most High God power. Therefore,
right,
the Most High God power sent lions among them, which slew some of them.
Right. Now, what is this talking about? So he moved heathens into our land, right? And they didn't know the ways of our people. So God just killed them. Right? Now we're gonna find out where the idea of Jewish people come from. Because these people still exist. I forgot the exact name for them. Not the Sephardics, but Khan, keep going.
26. Wherefore they spake to the king of Assyria, saying, the nations which thou hast removed and placed in the cities of Samaria know not the manner of God of the land. Therefore he hath sent lions among them, and behold, they slay them, because they know not the manner of the God of the land. Verse 27. Then the king of Assyria commanded, saying, carry thither one of the priests whom they brought from thence, and let him go and dwell there, and let him teach them the manner of which the God of the land.
Right. So what does that mean? All right. You know? Basically, teach these people our ways.
Con.
Basically, like them idiots got his behind whooped by a white man a few years ago who want to allow white people in his church, who want to allow heathens in his church. Same thing. These heathens were dying because you need our records to survive on the earth. And that's why everybody steals them and uses. them. Salakia. That's why everybody steals and uses them. They steal it, use our records so that they can be dominant on the planet. Right?
Right.
So now, what's it called? What's it called? You have this, and this is the beginning of people stealing our heritage. Now, here's the thing. We this is done so we know the protocol on how to deal with such people. Keep going.
Verse 28. Then one of the priests, whom they had carried away from Samaria, came and dwelt in Bethel and taught them how they should fear the Most High Power.
Right. So he basically taught them the law. And let's see what happens after he taught these people the law.
Verse 29. Howbeit every nation made gods of their own.
Made what?
Gods of their own.
Made what?
Gods of their own.
So what didn't they do? They didn't follow.
The law.
Right. They didn't follow the Most High. They didn't follow the law as our fathers did. They made themselves gods of their own. Their gods wear yarmulkes. Their gods wear fur hats. Their gods have them little twists on the side of their heads when the scripture says it's the tzit. Right? That's their God. Our God doesn't worry about all that. They really had me sitting there talking about, oh, do you know the proper rap for a tzit? Like a fringe. Like, is it 3 strands, 2 strands? Brother, he's going to walk up to you and say, yeah. No, Howard's going to walk up to you and say, I love you, child. Well, I don't love you, child, because I wanted you to do 3 strands for your fringes, not 4. Y'all are simpletons. Y'all are simpletons and y'all are being game. Let me explain how I see black people like Shine and Amare Stoudemire. Y'all are the hustled. Y'all give Jacob a bad name. Jacob means hustler, and y'all giving that name a real bad name right now. Y'all really being hustled right now. Right? Keep going.
And put them in the houses of the high places which the Samaritans had made, every nation in their cities wherein they dwelt.
Okay. Give me 32. Give me 33, rather.
Verse 33. They feared the Most High Power and served their own gods.
So what does it mean they feared the Most High Power and served their own gods?
They were like lukewarm.
Give me an example.
Like they basically played both sides of the fence.
Give me an example. Meaning, you know you can kosher pork? This is what I'm talking about. You can kosher pork. Yeah, God. Yeah. You can kosher pork. Jewish people smoke. Except for on Jewish holidays, they say it's not kosher. Stupid. What else? Shoot. It's so many. It's not even funny. Keep going. Like, what's called? They basically pervert the law to their own devices, their own wants and desires. Like, do they even do they don't do sacrifice. The Jewish man does not sacrifice animals. So where does he get his what's it called from? Where's his forgiveness? Right? Keep going.
Colonel Khan. And serve their own gods after the manner of the nations whom they carried away from thence.
Right. Keep going.
Verse 34. Unto this day they do after the former manners. They fear not the Most High power, neither
Right.
do they after his statutes, or after his ordinances, or after the law of and commandment which the Most High power commanded the children of Jacob.
The children of who?
The children of Jacob.
The hustlers.
The children of Jacob.
We are the children of the hustler, and y'all out here getting hustled by some white people. Y'all out here getting hustled by the original hustled. Y'all are an embarrassment to us. Like Shine is an embarrassment. Amare is an embarrassment. I love my brothers, but y'all are embarrassing. Y'all almost as embarrassing as Nick Cannon. And Nick Cannon was very embarrassing to me. Letting that Jewish man come up there and talk about Farrakhan and literally let that Jewish man sit in his face and say that the Jewish man during the Holocaust had it harder than us during slavery. I put y'all above Nick Cannon in that regard. Y'all are more embarrassing than Nick Cannon. Yeah, Khan. Y'all are more embarrassing. Y'all are more embarrassing than Nick Cannon because y'all out here being hustled by white people. Y'all, Sean ain't all that rich, but Amari Stoudemire has money. That's why they accept Amari Stoudemire as Black Mahan. Okay. Keep going.
Whom he named Israel.
Whom he named the children of the Most High. The children of the power. The Prince of the Power. That's what that means. The children of the Most High. What is a prince to a king? His son. Right? Keep going.
Verse 35. With whom the Most High power had made a covenant and charged them, saying, ye shall not fear other gods.
He made a covenant with us, not them. Right? And that's the point. They were trying to realize or trying to think that they got the covenant. They didn't get the covenant. White people will never get the covenant. A Jewish man does not have the covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, with the Most High God. Only blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians have that covenant. Why? Because when they break the law, they get Wall Street. When we break the law, we get crack corners. That's how you know they're not the children of God. The children of God got a punishment, right? The Jewish man doesn't get a punishment, right? Keep going. Where you at? Yeah, Khan, you're good for right there. Now, we covered the northern kingdom. Give me Jeremiah 38. 38, and I want to say verse 17. Salakia, 37 and started 37, verse 7. Verse 6, rather. Okay, so basically this is how Judah fell. Listening to its oppressors. Or listening, yeah. Here's the thing. Once a white man is a white man is a white man is a white man is a white man. I heard Commanding Johnny Yohana say this years ago. I don't know if he used all that white man, but yeah. Khan. Okay, what does that mean? They will never change. What does that mean too? Same with all of our enemies. Do not. It is a sin in the Bible to go down to Egypt for help. I hope y'all know that. Like, it is a sin to run to Egypt for help. He brought that out when that same nut who want to love white people and let them in his congregation ran into Egypt afraid of the swan flu. Y'all are simple as hell. Y'all need to get into school. Fit yourselves. Right? So give me verse 7. And there's another brother who could not listen and wanted to love his oppressor. Big whoop, it was also Egypt. Right? Keep going. Verse 7.
Jeremiah chapter 37 and verse 7.
And just like a biggity coward, Salakia, what's called, just to give a backdrop, the Babylonians initially wanted to attack us, but they heard about the Egyptians being around, so they ran. So they left for a bit, and this is what leads to Jeremiah having to go to the king of Judah at that time. Verse 7.
Verse 7. Thus saith the Most High Power, the God of Israel, thus shall ye say to the king of Judah that sent you unto me to inquire of me, behold, Pharaoh's army, which is come forth to help you, shall return to Egypt into their own land.
Right. Now, meaning what? They'll go away, and then what? Verse 8.
Verse 8. And the Chaldeans shall come again and fight against this city and take it and burn it with fire. Verse 9.
Now, drop. Hold up. Okay, and Salakia, hold on 1 second. Hold on. Now drop that. Give me 38 and verse 15. So now you see this brother's already a coward, right? He's using he's using the Egyptians to try to get his way. Yeah, verse give me verse 17. Verse 17. 38 and 17, Khan.
Jeremiah chapter 38, verse 17. Then said Jeremiah to Zedekiah.
Right? This is one of David's grandchildren. Keep going.
Thus saith the Most High Power, the God of hosts, the God of Israel. Right. If thou wilt assuredly go forth unto the king of Babylon's princes, then thy soul shall live, and this city shall not be burned with fire.
Now, why did he start off by introducing himself as the Lord, the God of hosts? Do you know what a host is, brother? A host is an army. So he's what? The most high power of armies. God controls all battle on the earth. The fact that the Russians are getting their behinds whipped right now, thank the Most High. And I personally, this is just me, I don't think that's a coincidence. I think he's forcing them to lose in this way to speed up what's about to happen, because now they're already getting weapons from the Iranians. Right? That's all I'm going to say on that. Right? But back to this, right? He's the God of armies. All warfare is at his disposal, right? He's the deciding factor in all wars. And he's telling you, you go up and you fight this man, I'm with you. Right? That sounds like a good deal to me. Let's see what happens. Read verse 18.
Verse 18. But if thou wilt not go forth to the king of Babylon's princes,
if you're a coward, keep going.
Then shall this city be given into the hand of the Chaldeans.
Right, keep going.
And they shall burn it with fire.
Right, keep going.
And thou shalt not escape out of their hand.
Right, keep going.
Verse 19. And Zedekiah the king said unto Jeremiah, I am afraid of the Jews that are fallen to the Chaldeans.
I am afraid of the Jews that are fallen to the Chaldeans. Meaning what? Those of our people that are already following our oppressor, he was afraid of them. That welcomed our oppressor, he was afraid of them. Right? Keep going.
Lest they deliver me into the hand, and they mock me.
Keep going.
Verse 20. But Jeremiah said,
he was afraid of being a laughing stock, just like Nick Cannon didn't want to be a laughing stock who lost his little show. Right? Just like Ice Cube doesn't want to be a laughing stock by losing all his money, all his business deals. Right? You got these cats coming out the woodwork to say, I love the Jewish man. Because that's the stranglehold they have over us. Keep going.
Verse 20. But Jeremiah said, they shall not deliver thee.
What's called? Don't worry about all that. That's not going to happen. Keep going.
Obey, I beseech thee.
I'm begging you, basically. Keep going.
The voice of the Most High Power,
right,
which I speak unto thee.
Right.
So shall it be well unto thee, and thy soul shall live.
So shall it be well unto thee, and thy soul shall live. If you listen to me, all he's really telling this brother to do is to have a backbone. Stand on the truth. The truth is the white man can never be a Jew. And if you actually out there supporting it, like what's called running from this bastard, you are weak. You not ready to go to war. And I see that. I see that in all them back. Sean, Amari Stoudemire. Okay, all these cats, they're not ready to really go to war. If you actually cared about the 12 tribes of Israel and knew and understood your nationality, you wouldn't be up there chilling with a Jewish man anyway.
Right.
Why aren't you, like, if you understand and truly know we are the 12 tribes of Israel, why aren't you trying to wake up our side? The Jewish man's good. The Jewish man is A-okay. Why are you not doing that? Here's a better question. Why isn't the Jewish man doing it? If the Jewish man sees we are Jews, shouldn't he be doing fighting tooth and nail to get that information out to us in the public? Shouldn't he be making that readily available for us? But he isn't. He's stopping us from getting this knowledge, which should tell you something. He doesn't want this out. He just understands he can't stop you from knowing and learning this knowledge. So the best thing I can do, I'll control what you learn. I'll control what you know. And what you know is the BS he teaches himself. He teaches himself, because understand, all that Moyam crap really comes from him. He likes blowing his own little baby. The white man is the devil. Is not because he's evil to us. The white man is the devil because the white man is the devil. He is evil to everyone. There is a white girl and a white woman right now crying their eyes out because a judge let their what's called colleague rapist go because it would have destroyed his future. Meaning, here's what I'm saying. There wasn't enough evidence. We weren't sure. We know this boy did it. This white boy raped this little white girl, right? These college students, right? They were at a frat party. But I'm not going to destroy his reputation so he gets probation. This is what he does to his own daughters. This is what we mean by don't be up under him. Don't try to deal with him. Right? Keep going.
Verse 19. And Zedekiah said,
well, you had already read that. Give me 21.
Verse 21. But if thou refuse to go forth, this is the word that the Most High Power hath shewed me. Verse 22. And behold, all the women that are left in the king of Judah's house shall be brought forth to the king of Babylon's princes. And
Con.
those women shall say, thy friends have set thee on and have prevailed against thee. Thy feet are sunk in the mire, and they are turned away back.
Right. Meaning they're going to deal with our women horribly. Right? Keep going. Verse 23.
Verse 23. So they shall bring out all thy wives and thy children to the Chaldeans,
Right.
and thou shalt not escape out of their hand,
Right.
but shalt be taken by the hand of the king of Babylon.
Right.
And thou shalt cause this city to be burned with fire.
To be burned with fire. And that's what you're doing. By trying to destroy this place, but you can't, you are causing the city to be burned with fire. Like I said earlier, your actions of teaching this BS, trying to bring this BS in the community, will be detrimental in our destruction. Right? Now drop that. Give me verse 39. Long of the story short, I don't believe you. I'm going to just put you in prison so you don't tell this to anybody else. Verse 39 and 1. 39 and 1. The chapter.
Jeremiah chapter 39, verse 1.
Right.
In the 9th year of Zedekiah, king of Judah,
Right.
in the 10th month, came Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and all his army against Jerusalem.
Right.
And they besieged it. Verse 2.
Yeah, right. Con.
And in the 11th year of Zedekiah, in the 4th month, the 9th day of the month, the city was broken up.
Right. Now, give me verse 4. So basically, he's seeing the Babylonians come in. They finally forced their way in. Keep going.
Verse 4. And it came to pass that when Zedekiah, the king of Judah, saw them,
This is our great and noble leader. Read on.
and all the men of war, then they fled.
What?
They fled.
They what?
They fled.
They what?
They fled.
Yeah, that's your leadership. They flee. Your leadership flees. Right? Your leadership runs from grandmas. Your leadership ducks behind what's called their stupid signs, which aren't even proper and accurate. The sign, a 12 tribe sign, should be made out of wood. That's in the Bible. We keep the scriptures in here. We obey the Torah in here. We obey the Tanakh in here. And we understand it fully. Fringes don't mean a goddamn thing when you don't understand the spirit of the law. When you don't understand what's actually written in here. Right? Khan. So they fled out of the back, right? Because they saw our enemies coming. This is our terrible leadership. They run when our enemies are at our door. Keep going.
And went forth out of the city by night, by the way of the king's garden.
Right, keep going.
By the gate betwixt the two walls, and he went out the way of the plain.
Right, keep going.
But the Chaldeans' army pursued after him and overtook Zedekiah in the plains of Jericho.
Keep going.
And when they had taken him, they brought him up to Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and to Riblah in the land of Hamath,
right,
where he gave judgment upon him.
And that is a disgusting thing to have a heathen judge you. Right? Now we're gonna. So this is the fall of our people during Babylon. Now drop that. You're gonna give me. Hold on 1 second. 42 verse 4. Give me 42 verse 4. So we're going to find out what the Most High did Now, the Most High did not get rid of all of our people. He left some of us here inside of our land, right? So now we're gonna see what happened to these people, right? Now, mind you, why did God do this to our people? Why did he send the Babylonians? You know?
For our disobedience.
Right, our disobedience against the law. Keep going. You got it, 42 and 4?
Khan. Jeremiah chapter 42, verse 4. Then Jeremiah the prophet said unto them, I have heard you. Behold, I will pray unto the most high power, your God, according to your words. And it shall come to pass that whatsoever thing the most high power shall answer you, I will declare it unto you. I will keep nothing back from you. Verse 5. Then they said to Jeremiah, the most high power be a true and faithful witness between us.
Right.
If we do not even according to all things for the which the most high power thy God shall send thee to us. Verse 6. Whether it be good or whether it be evil, right, we will obey the voice of the most high power, our God.
No, okay, Khan, let me just fix this. Lord is just most high. God is power. So the most high, our power.
Come on.
Khan. So
to whom we send thee, that it may be well with us, when we obey the voice of the most high, our power.
Right? So when we obey the Most High's voice, basically they're telling Jeremiah, yeah, we'll listen to everything you say. We just need to know what the Most High needs us to do after they just destroyed our whole country, our nation. Right? Now drop that. Give me verse 9. This is what Jeremiah got from the Most High.
Verse 9. And said unto them, thus saith the Most High, the power of Israel, unto whom ye sent me to present you supplication before him.
Right? Prayer, basically. Supplication means prayer. Keep going.
Verse 10. If ye will still abide in this land, then will I build you.
Right? So the Most High saying, stay here. I'm going to build back up Israel. Keep going.
And not pull you down.
And not pull you down. Just so you know, he's talking to bums. He's talking to the poor of our nation. Creflo Dollar got killed or enslaved. So did your black politicians. All the rich aristocrats of our people were the ones they took in slavery. The poor pretty much were left alone. Right? Keep going.
And I will plant you and not pluck you up.
Right.
For I repent me of the evil that I have done unto you.
Right. Meaning I feel bad having to see my women raped and destroyed in the side of this destruction. I feel bad seeing my own sons ripped to shreds and forced into slavery. Right? Keep going.
Verse 11.
And you don't know the Most High, so you don't know that pain. You don't know the pain. You'll argue me about some black men who own slaves over Jewish men. And these are the things we're probably going to... I'm saying a lot of this because this is what I'm seeing, right? And I'm saying this because I know there's brothers who probably need this for teaching. Like, you're probably going to see a lot of this, and this is very stupid. That is a very stupid idea to go around, because a few brothers own slaves. You going to excuse everything these Jewish people did. Right? Keep going.
Verse 11. Be not afraid of the king of Babylon, of whom ye are afraid. Be not afraid of him, saith the Most High. For I am with you to save you and to deliver you from his hand.
Right, Khan. Right? Keep going.
Verse 12. And I will show mercies unto you, that he may have mercy upon you and cause you to return to your own land.
Meaning I'm going to show mercy and I'm going to make him want to show you mercy. Right? Okay, they went home and rebuilt. All right, I ain't got no problem with them. The old establishment is the one I had a problem with. Keep going.
Verse 12. And I will, verse 13. But if ye say, we will not dwell in this land, neither obey the voice of the Most High your power. Verse 14. Saying, no, but we will go into the land of Egypt, where we shall see no war, nor hear the sound of the trumpet, nor have hunger of bread, and there will we dwell. Verse 15.
Give me 16.
Verse 16. Then it shall come to pass that the sword which ye feared shall overtake you there in the land of Egypt.
Yeah, and you so stupid. What happened afterwards historically? After Babylon took down Israel, they eventually took down Egypt. We're their northern border. Anyone that destroys us immediately goes straight to them and into Africa. Why would you ever run to Egypt? First off, it's a law to go against it. Second, it makes sense. They used to enslave us. Never run back to that place. Now give me 43 and 1 when you get a chance.
Jeremiah chapter 43, verse 1. And it came to pass that when Jeremiah had an end of speaking unto all the people, all the words of the Most High their power, for which the Most High their power had sent him to them, even all these words.
Verse 2.
Verse 2. Then spake Azariah, the son of Hoshea.
Now, who is this? Oh, keep going.
And Johan.
Right. Yochanan.
Yochanan.
Yeah, Yochanan.
The son of Kare. And all the proud men saying unto Jeremiah, thou speakest falsely.
Thou speakest what?
Falsely.
The man who prophesied that the Babylonians would come and kill us is?
Speaketh falsely.
He's a liar. He is a bold-faced liar. Keep going.
The Most High our power hath not sent thee to say, go not into Egypt to sojourn there.
Yeah, the Most High who power?
The Most High our power.
Who's speaking?
Hath not sent
No,
thee.
I'm asking who's speaking. Who's speaking in that verse?
Azariah.
Azariah, right. Azariah and these other fake cats. These are Christian preachers that didn't get left. These are your local Christian preachers, right? That didn't get taken by the Babylonians. They rose up into power over the people. And now, what does that phrase sound like? The Most High, our power. Not my Jesus, right? Y'all think y'all got all the answers inside that Christian church. Y'all don't. Y'all don't own a monopoly on. Y'all don't even know Jesus. Y'all didn't see the Babylonians coming. Y'all didn't see coronavirus coming. Y'all didn't see Donald Trump coming. Y'all thought we lived in a post-racial society at the beginning of Obama. Do you still believe that? We were on the streets telling you a black president doesn't mean a goddamn thing. America will always be a racist country.
Right.
Okay? And y'all called us some angry black men. Are we angry now? We were angry about George Floyd 12, 15 years before George Floyd even happened. Okay? Keep going.
Verse 3. But Baruch, the son of Neriah, setteth thee on against us, for to deliver us into the hand of the Chaldeans.
Right? Yeah, you're just a spy. You're just sent by our enemies, right? You're sent to spread hatred. We're not, you're a tool of the devil, right? We're hearing all this dumb stuff, but we're actually trying to save people's lives. We're trying to save your stupid ass life, okay? And stop you from getting your own goddamn members killed. by telling you, take the goddamn vaccine so you don't have to go on goddamn Facebook talking about, yeah, the brother died after getting the Delta. You're stupid. The brother died after he got in your stupid Israelite Christian camp gay group. That's when the brother truly died. You sealed that brother's life when you started to think what's called Alex Jones was a leader for black people. Okay, that's what this is talking about. This is talking about what's called our people not what's called wanting to do what's right. Our people thinking everybody who's actually for them is actually against them. What did the brother say to Moses? Who made you a prince over me? Shall you kill me like you killed the Egyptian? Anyone who tries to help us, we see as an enemy. Right? Keep going.
Go not into Egypt to sojourn there.
Right.
Verse 3, but Baruch, the son of Neriah, setteth thee on against us, for to deliver us into the hand of the Chaldeans, that they might put us to death and carry us away captives into Babylon.
Right.
Verse 4.
Now drop that. Give me 44 and 1.
Jeremiah chapter 44, verse 1. The word that came to Jeremiah concerning all the Jews which dwell in the land of Egypt, which dwell in Migdol.
Right. Keep going.
And
Naf. And at Naf.
And at Naf.
Yeah, Khan.
And in the countries of Pathros, saying.
Khan.
Verse 2. Thus saith the Most High of hosts, the power of Israel. Ye have seen all the evil that I have brought upon Jerusalem and upon all the cities of Judah. And behold, this day they are a desolation, and no man dwelleth therein.
Right. Keep going.
Verse 3. Because of their wickedness, which they have committed to provoke me to anger, and that they went to burn incense and to serve other gods, whom they knew not, neither they nor your fathers. Verse 4.
Keep going.
Howbeit I sent unto you all my servants and prophets, rising early and sending them, saying, oh, do not this abominable thing that I hate. Verse 5.
Salakia, now drop that. Give me verse 15. So there's him going over and explaining, there's why I did this to you, and you're gonna be stupid enough to not listen and still go to Egypt, right? Keep going. You're
verse
gonna be
15.
stupid enough to not listen to the men of the Lord, right? Keep going.
Verse 15. Then all the men which knew that their wives had burnt, all the men which knew that their wives had burned incense unto other gods.
Their wives burned incense unto other gods. What does that mean?
Their wives worship other gods.
Right. Their wives worship other gods, but give me a little more. Their wives, why did it say wives? Why is that important? Who's the main one inside the Christian church?
The women.
There's nothing new under the sun. You don't, and notice it's not them and their wives, it's their wives. Your wife is the one doing all this dumb Christian nonsense. Your wife is the one that gets the Christmas ham. Your wife is the one that begs for the Christmas tree. Your wife is the one that begs for a birthday for a 1-year-old. Right? Your wife put you in this decision. Why? Because you can't rule over her. You can't tell her we don't do that in this house, or you won't be in this house. You are weak under a woman. Right? Keep reading. And that's what it is. Your wife, you ain't in here because here's the thing. Your wife is stupid. Your wife is an idiot. Your wife would rather be in a relationship which believes inside of a culture which believes that you are allowed to divorce her if she don't give you kids in 10 years, then believe in the fact that you might have a kids with another woman. Brother, yeah, that is the dumbest thing I have ever heard of. Leave my wife. What? In 10 years because she can't give me kids. My daddy did not do that. My daddy did not do that. My daddy stayed with his wife for 20 years. Samson's parents stayed together, God knows how long, till she had him. That man was resolved to die with that woman barren. And that's love. That's true love. What y'all got in there is transactional. And that basically fits because I hear y'all, yeah. Come, keep going.
And all the women that stood by, a great multitude, even all the people that dwelt in the land of Egypt, in Pathros, answered Jeremiah, saying, As for the word that thou hast spoken unto us in the name of the Most High, we will not hearken unto thee.
We will what?
Not hearken unto thee.
We're not going to listen to you, Jeremiah. Even though you just spit facts and cut us to the core, we're still not going to listen to you. Keep going.
Verse 17. But we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth.
Out of what?
Our own mouth.
Out of what?
Our own mouth.
But the minute ago, he was the Lord our God. He was my Jesus. But now I don't interpret the Bible that way. Right? First, it's not my Jesus. Now I don't interpret the Bible that way. Keep going.
To burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven.
Right. Keep going.
And to pour out milk offerings unto her.
Right. Keep going.
As we have done.
Who's the Queen of Heaven today? Who do you think the Queen of Heaven is? Because they still worship her.
Is it who they refer to as the Virgin Mary?
Correct. The Virgin Mary is the Queen of Heaven today, right? In ancient times, she'd be called Ashtoreth, Ishtar, Diana, right? She's a rabbit goddess in most instances, right? A rabbit goddess that came from the sky and hatched out of an egg. Any of this sounding familiar? Yeah. Okay, you can look this up. You can literally look this up. And they hide it like, you know, it's so funny in the world. They'll be like, oh, where does the egg come from? And all the bunny and all that. Just shut up and do it. But yeah, like you really need to not shut up and do it. You really need to study and find out where the hell does this egg come from? Where does this bunny come from? Right? Don't just blindly follow things. Don't just let a Jewish man tell you, oh, it's in the oral tradition. That's why we do this. It's in the oral tradition. That's why we do this. Well, it's in the Torah. That's why I do that. You believe in something that came out. Read that from the top.
But we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth.
Out of our own what?
Out of our own mouth.
The oral traditions. Out of what?
Out of our own mouth.
What I say. Out of what?
Out of our own mouth.
You don't understand Hebrew, so you wouldn't understand. I have to talk to you and explain to you. So that's
out of our own mouth.
Yeah, that's what you're doing. You're going for whatever's out of your own mouth. I go for whatever out of Torah and whatever out of the mouth of a man of God who is proven. We are men of God are proven, right? We've been telling you since 1969, death and destruction is coming to America. Where have your rabbi said that? Where your rabbis out on these streets teaching our people death and destruction is coming to America? That's what Jeremiah did. Right? Keep going.
To burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out milk offerings unto her, as we have done, we and our fathers, our kings and our princes in the cities of Judah, and in the streets of Jerusalem, for then had we plenty of victuals,
Right.
and were well, and saw no evil.
Yeah, right. Meaning what? The Most High hadn't attacked us yet. Right? Keep going.
Verse 18.
Because you have to understand, we are a free people, free thinking. We understand it is a come up to be out here giving food to a statue. Right? So that's what happens. Eventually, those people get destroyed. Now, give me in the Apocrypha, second address. It should be, if you can't, if it's not up there, scroll to the very bottom of the page and you'll see a list of different Bibles. You'll see KJV Apocrypha. I'll find it. It's first Ezra 5 and okay. Give me 5 and 66. You got it?
Come on.
Give me first Esdras 5 and 66. And we're going to show you the evil of these bastards. These bastards, okay, these, what's called, our oppressor, okay, over there in Israel, does not want to see you succeed. And we're going to show you that in history. We're going to show you in history when, there were people who said they were Jews and did not, want to see the children of Israel succeed. Read verse 66.
First Ezra,
5 and 66.
chapter 5, verse 66. Wherefore, when the enemies of the tribe of Judah and Benjamin heard it, they came to know what that noise of trumpets should mean.
Now, what is this talking about? This is talking about us rebuilding our temple. The Babylonians destroyed our temple during the time of Nebuchadnezzar, right? At the hand of the Edomites. At the request of the Edomites. The Edomites in Psalms 138 said, raise it, raise it. They were talking about our temple, destroy it, tear it down. That's what raise it means. Right? They cheered on the destruction of the temple of God, just so they can parade around as the Jews themselves. Right? Now, our enemies see this. Now, these enemies are the same people that were put into the land of Samaria, right? They're seeing us rebuild the temple of the Lord, and here's what they have to say. Verse 67.
Verse 67. And they perceived that they that were of the captivity did build the temple unto the most high power of Israel.
So meaning what? They left and said, yo, are they rebuilding their temple? Because that's not just a temple like a place of worship. That's basically the White House in a point. That is the head of the government. That is the king's house. Our king is the Most High. Right? Where do the priests work out of? The temple. What's the priest's job? To fulfill the law, to carry out the law. So if you got a court case you need handled or you need counsel, where would you go? The temple. Oh, y'all are trying to organize. You know, it's a big part of our organization. Our law says we have to have a military. So if you know we're rebuilding our, government building, we're probably rebuilding that too. Keep going.
Verse 38. So they went to Zerubbabel and Yahushua.
Keep going.
And to the chief of the families, and said unto them, we will build together with you.
We will what?
Build together with you.
So they went to them, right, these brothers, and said, we will build together with you. Keep going.
69. For we likewise, as ye, do obey your Most High.
Your Most High. Because they even understand at this point, this is our heritage, not theirs. Read on.
And do sacrifice unto him from the days of Asabareth, the king of the Assyrians, who brought us hither.
The same people that we talked about earlier that learned our ways but wanted to still worship their way. Right? Keep going.
Verse 70.
And this brother, now we showed a bunch of leaders who didn't have the backbone to lead our people away from heathens, right? But this brother was wise. Read on.
Then Zerubbabel and Yahushua and the chief of the families of Israel said unto them, it is not for us and you to build together an house unto the Most High our power.
Right. Now read that. So meaning what? That's against our laws. We don't build together. So if you out there learning from the Jewish man, you're going against the scriptures. Right? Keep going.
Verse 71. We ourselves alone will build. We ourselves alone.
Keep going.
Will build unto the Lord of Israel.
Right.
According to Cyrus, the king of the Persians hath commanded us.
Meaning what? We ourselves alone will deal with this. Not you. Right? This was ordered by God. God wants his temple built by the children of Israel, not anyone else. Right? Keep going.
Verse 72. But the heathen of the land lying heavy upon the inhabitants of Judea and holding them straight hindered their building. Verse 73. And by their secret plots and unpopular and popular persuasions and commotions, they hindered the finishing of the building all the time that King Cyrus lived. So they were hindered from building for the space of 2 years until the reign of Darius.
Until the reign of Darius. Meaning what? They were never. Here's the thing. What do you get out of that? What does that tell you, Har?
That they hindered the building of the temple.
But give me more. What does that mean like today? What should you expect from the Jewish man today?
To hinder our progress.
Right. He's hindering our progress. How's he doing that? I kind of explained it when I explained Shine and Amare Stoudemire are rich and powerful. What if Amare Stoudemire changes his name to something like Yaiquab? Instead of whatever the hell he calls himself. Well, just still Amare Stoudemire. He never changed his name. Which is so stupid. Like, y'all out there really still with heathen names, a lot of y'all. Like, I'm talking about the Jewish man. Will have heathen last name, heathen names, period. Yeah. Right? What's called? What if he comes out wearing a proper garment? What if he not even joins us? What if he joins a fake Israelite group? Yeah. That'll be very bad publicity. Right? Yeah. That's what this is about. What's it called? We need to stop the progress of the building of this temple. Anything we can do. So what's called? Any celebrity that does it, we shut it down. Brothers were starting to get notoriety with Montel and stuff like that until they realized we have sources. We're not the KKK. We're just a bunch of crazy rednecks. We have sources for what we're saying. We are the Jews of the Bible, and we have Harvard scholars to back it up. Right? Yeah, blacklist them. They're not allowed on anymore. Notice you don't see here. They tried to bill us like the KKK, but once we was coming in and they saw, oh, nah, y'all using books from Harvard and Yale to really show, oh, y'all not a crazy. No, blacklist them. We can't have this on the airwaves. We have to halt the building of the temple of the Most High. And that's what they did. And now I want to just say, we need to commend them, brothers. How much time we got? 8:53. We might go a little bit over. It was a good class. Give me Maccabees. Give me First Maccabees. I want to say 8-1. We just gonna get a bit of this, and we gonna show. Notice these are all Old Testament scriptures because we got to deal with them. But I will get like 2 or 3 New Testament scriptures at the end. I want to say it's 8. First Maccabees. Oh yeah, yeah, Khan 8-1. Read it.
First,
Now you're familiar with Judas Maccabeus, the brother responsible for Hanukkah, and his father. Okay, keep reading.
First Maccabees, chapter 8, verse 1. Now Judas had heard of the Romans that they
Heard
were
of the fame of the Romans. You got fame there or
la.
Okay, Khan.
Now Judas had heard of the Romans
Right,
that they were mighty and valiant men,
Khan.
and such as would lovingly accept all that joined themselves unto them, and make a league of a mighty
Amity.
of amity with all that came unto them.
What does this sound like so far? Hi. You don't know? Keep going.
Verse 2. And that they were men of great valor. It was told him also of their wars and noble acts which they had done among the Galatians,
Right,
and how they had conquered them
right,
and brought them under tribute.
right. Now drop that. Give me verse Salakia. Verse 9, and I'm gonna give a bit of history. Judas Maccabeus was responsible for the Greeks, was responsible for kicking the Greeks out of our land. Now here comes on the scene the child of the Greeks, the Romans, and hears all of their legends and falls in love with the Romans, right? Mainly because of verse 9. Read.
Verse 9. Moreover, how the Grecians had determined to come and destroy them. Verse 10. And that they, having knowledge thereof, sent against them a certain captain, and fighting with them, slew many of them,
Right.
and carried away captives their wives and their children, and spoiled them, and took possession of their lands, and pulled down their strongholds, and brought them to be their servants unto this day.
Okay, brought them to be their servants unto this day, right? So they basically beat his enemies. Similar to Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King and Huey P. Newton and so on and so forth. They thought by joining the Russians or helping the Russians or helping communism, they could get something out of it. Right? But that's not how it works. You basically, Judas Maccabeus just did what the Egyptians were afraid of us doing. They are more and mightier than we. If war break out, they will join our enemies. Right? Now drop that. Let me see if we back to seeing if this is familiar. Give me verse 15 now.
Verse 15. Moreover, how they had made for themselves a senate house, wherein 320 men sat in council daily, consulting always for the people, to the end they might be well ordered.
Right? Keep going.
Verse 16.
So what does that tell you? If they're bringing this up, why is this being brought up? Because what? That's against our ways. We don't work or operate like that. Right? There is no democracy. Democracy is not scriptural. We do not all get a say. Keep going.
Verse 16. And that they committed their government to one man every year, who ruled over their country, and that all were obedient to that one, and that there was neither envy nor emulation among them. Emulation among them.
Right. Meaning what? He fell in love with these people. What do they sound like to you? So you got a people, right, that accept and love everybody. They have a Senate and what's called, they work under a democracy, right? And they put their lead, they every year, or a few years rather, we'll say, they put up for a vote who's going to be in charge. What does that sound like? Think about it.
That sounds like America.
Exactly. They accept everybody, right? What is that? What does that statue say? Give me your poor, your broken, your hungry. That's a hoe. Only a hoe would say something and let them into me. That's some hoe. That yeah. America is the whore of Babylon, right? They allow anyone just into them. They have a senate that they get from what's called. Everything about America is Greco-Roman. The Roman police used to wear blue. The judges red or white. No, black or white. And the army was red. Red, white, and blue. Right? This country is Greco-Roman in origins. Right? And his brother fell in love with that Greco-Roman culture. You know what it led to? The destruction of our race. No, the what's called well, really, yeah, the destruction of our people inside of our land. Because shortly after he made this league with them, he they forced their way into our land and occupied us until after the time of Christ. Right? So now let's drop that. Now let me get Matthew's 10. We about to end off soon. 10 and verse 1. You got it?
Come.
Let me get it.
Matthew chapter 10 and verse 1.
Right? Because here's the thing. Y'all want to love these Jewish people so much, but Christ was on a different level than the Jewish man. Christ was more loving of the Jewish man, of our nation, than the Jewish man could ever be. Keep going.
And when
Christ was more of a Jew than none of y'all. Keep going.
And when he had called unto him his 12 disciples, he gave them power against unclean spirits.
He gave them power against unclean spirits. Keep going.
To cast them out.
Right.
And to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease.
Does that sound familiar to anybody? That's the prayers. That's where that comes from. To cast them out, cure all manner of sickness and all manner of disease. To cast them out in the name of Yahweh Shai, the Wada Aman. Keep going.
Verse 2. Now the names of the...
You could drop that. Give me verse 5.
Verse 5.
Just so you know, that's rank order. 2 to 4 is rank order for the disciples. Peter's first, Judas Iscariot's last.
Verse 5. These 12 Yahushua sent forth and commanded them, saying...
Now, did he send them to everybody? Right? Did he send them to all the Noahites? No. Well, let's see. Keep going.
Go not into the way of the Gentiles.
Well, what's called? You are not allowed to deal with any other nation. What we have inside of here is a gift specifically for inside of here. You hate your people if you out trying to love the Jewish man. And that's plain as day. Keep going.
And into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not.
Into any city of the who?
The Samaritans.
The who?
The Samaritans.
You cannot go and deal with the Samaritan, someone who calls themselves a Jew and is not a Jew. Right? Keep going.
Verse 6. But go rather into the lost sheep of the house. Lost sheep.
The lost sheep. The people that don't know they're Israel. You up here trying to run to some people that, know, quote unquote, completely have their heritage, but you won't take your behind to the hood. You're not going to go to Jamaica to deal with the brothers and sisters down there. You hate your people. Keep going.
But rather go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Keep going.
Verse 7. And as ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
Yeah, because no other nation can get this kingdom. We're going to get that again. We're going to get that proof. John 4 and start at 20. I'll give it to you. Hold up. probably like 15 or something. I just want to make sure. You know, this is a goddamn Samaritan. Okay. This is a Samaritan woman, right? 4 verse. If you find it, you can pull it. 4 verse 7.
The book of John, chapter 4, verse 7. There cometh a woman of Samaria to draw water. Yahushua said unto her, give me to drink.
Now, this woman was a Samaritan, right? And we're about to find out how our people dealt with people who lied and said they were our people, right? This woman is living in what would be Samaritan land, the land of the what you today call the Hispanic people, or the northern kingdom of Israel, right? Keep going.
Verse 8. For the disciples were gone away unto the city to buy meat.
Right. Keep going.
Verse 9. Then saith the woman of Samaria unto him, how is it that thou, being a Jew, asketh drink of me, which I am a woman of Samaria? For the Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans.
For the what?
The Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans.
For the what?
The Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans.
So Ezra wasn't a special case. Read that again.
The Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans.
We don't deal with these people, right? That's the law. That's what our ancestors have done. You want to talk about some oral tradition? I got an oral tradition. We ourselves alone will build the temple to the Most High God. That's the oral tradition that I got for you. Okay? That's an oral tradition. We ourselves alone shall build the temple to the Lord our God. Right? Read on.
Verse 10. Yahushua answered unto her, if thou knowest the gift of power, and who it is that saith to give to thee, give me to drink, thou wouldst have asked of him, and he would have given thee living water. Mm-hmm. Verse 11.
You could drop that now, drop down to verse 19.
Verse 19. The woman saith unto him, sir.
So we know this is a Samaritan woman, and that we don't deal with our people naturally don't deal with these women, with these people. But Christ is using this woman to teach y'all simpletons a lesson. Read on.
Sir, I perceive that thou art a prophet.
Keep going.
Verse 20. Our fathers worshipped in this mountain.
Well, our fathers worshipped in this mountain, right? Keep going.
And ye say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship.
Why did she say that? Why did she say, where did Christ say that? That Jerusalem is the place you ought to worship. Why is she saying that? He said that. Because he didn't. Because where do Jews worship? Where do Jews worship the Passover? Right? Why? Because that's what our... Give it to me.
Temple?
No, that's what our...
Power?
No, that's what our did.
Our forefathers?
Right. Our forefathers worshipped inside of Jerusalem since Solomon. Right? When we were one cohesive kingdom, there was no northern and no southern. There was only the one united 12 tribes of Israel under King Solomon. Right? He put the decree out, we all come to Jerusalem. Right? So she's saying they didn't keep that though. They didn't listen to that. They went off and did their own thing. Right? So now I'll read. This is what Jesus has to tell the Samaritan woman that y'all want to love so much.
Verse 21. And Yahushua say unto her, woman, believe me, the hour cometh when ye shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father.
A day is coming where you will not worship the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the father of my nation. Right? You will not worship him in this mountain. You know why? Because this mountain don't belong to you. And you will not worship him in the capital because you're not of our people. Right? Keep going.
Verse 22. Ye worship what ye worship ye know not what.
What does that mean? The Jewish man every December worships his own destruction. That's a holiday about the slaughter of white people. I hope you're aware of that. Like, that's like an Egyptian celebrating Passover. You look really stupid. Keep going.
We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews.
We know what we're doing. We know and understand this is about killing you. These laws and records are about me separating from you so that I can be stronger. For salvation is of the Jews. Right? We're the ones who are going to be saved by this knowledge. We're the ones that are saved. What is salvation? To be saved from a damnation, to be put out of danger. Our nation is in danger right now. And the salvation, you can pray all you want to, right? You can pray on this mountain and you're never going to pray in Jerusalem. But guess what? Salvation is still only of the Jews, right? God will not hear that Amalek's or that that bastard in Israel's prayer, right? Keep going.
23. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in the spirit and in truth.
In spirit and in truth. Meaning what? You'll be bold with it. You will boldly go out and say who you are and who we are. And bring out our true culture. Keep going. And worship to worship him fully is to put him inside of your body. Our oppressor does not like our father does not like the Jewish man. He's going to deal with the Jewish man. Right? And you should want that. That is the spirit you should be in. To be twiddling your thumbs, waiting for him to get his comeuppance. Read on.
For the Father seeketh such to worship him.
Keep going.
24.
That's it. Now give me, this is the last one, Revelations 3 and 9. We're going to end this right here. Because y'all don't understand. You cannot go out worshiping your oppressor. You make us look bad. You make us look bad worshiping your oppressor. You got it? Because you don't even know what the real goal is. Keep going.
Revelations chapter 3, verse 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and
now,
are
do y'all
not.
know that there are fake Jews walking around today? People that aren't actually Jews? All right, y'all don't believe in the New Testament, so this is BS to you. No sweat. Keep going.
Which say they are Jews and are not.
They are Jews and are not, right?
But do lie.
Right?
Behold,
They're
I will
liars. They do not properly even keep our laws and records. Right? Keep going.
Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee.
And to know that I have loved thee. So meaning what? At the end, there will be a competition, not of sorts. Well, the competition is now. Who does God love? And here's the thing. The competition is rigged. He always loved us first. We are his favorites. And you're going to figure that out in that day. Right? And it's important for our people to understand the difference. We are not Jewish. Jewish culture is not the culture of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, the nation that God created and loved. Okay? Get in class and we'll teach you the true culture of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, Judah down to Issachar. With that, I pass the class over to Priest and Officer Haryala.
Clap it up for the class.
You could just cut it.